Good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are, and we thank you so much for tuning in to today's Red Hawk Radio presentation of Miami Softball. Live from Miami Softball Stadium here in Oxford, it's the Miami RedHawks taking on the Eastern Kentucky Colonels in a regional rivalry between two exceptional teams, both having special teams in their very own ways. Starting off, the Eastern Kentucky Colonels sit at 36-5 overall, 17-1 in the Atlantic Sun Conference. That's first best, and they are an impressive 8-1 at home and 9-0 on the road. And currently sitting on a 10-game winning streak, led by head coach Jane Worthington in her 32nd year as the head coach of Eastern Kentucky. Meanwhile, the Miami RedHawks are having another special season here for in Oxford. The RedHawks sit at 36-7 overall. They are 18-1 in conference play, 11-0 at home, and their win streak that was most in conference history, it was 23-game winning streak. That one was snapped by a loss to Central Michigan in their last game. They did win the series though, but their 23-game winning streak was snapped, and the RedHawks, their streak is an L1. They lost their past game, but they'll try and get back in the winning column here against an impressive team in the Eastern Kentucky Colonels, who are once again the best team in their conference, and they have exploded this season. They were picked 9th in the preseason poll, and now they are well above the Surf in first. For Eastern Kentucky, the leadoff, Jeanne Riley sitting first, Maggie Purty hitting second, Vianna Barron hitting third, Maddie Rutan hitting in the cleanup spot, Jalen Haynes in the 5 spot, Lily Davis hitting 6th, Michaela Mathis in the 7th spot, Jasmine Miller in the 8th spot, and then rounding out the EKU lineup, it is Madison Scott. And pitching for the RedHawks is Madeline Reeves, the superstar freshman who, in her most recent matchup against Central Michigan, only went 2 innings, gave up the most runs she's allowed in the entire season, 5 earned runs. She earned the loss. Riley pops one in the air out to left, and Jenna Golembeski, the star left fielder for the RedHawks, is under it for the first out of the first. So quick result there. Riley goes down with a pop-up. And here comes Maggie Purty to the plate, who takes the first pitch, ball, 1-0. For Purty, she's from Uniontown, Ohio, nearby Akron. Her 3rd year at EKU. She was 3rd team All-A-Sun last year with a .367 batting average, 58 hits. She racked up those RBIs with 31 and 27 walks as well. She takes the ball, it's 2-0. Reeves winds and delivers. Ball 3 high. Appreciate you for tuning in and spending your Wednesday afternoon with us here from Oxford. My name is Andrew Relvas on Red Hawk Radio. RedHawks trying to cool off the red-hot Eastern Kentucky Colonels, and a 4-pitch walk to Maggie Purty brings a runner on first. 1 out for Vianna Barron, who's sitting on a 3-game hitting streak today. Vianna Barron from Elk Grove, California, and the north side of the state, went to Sheldon High School. Right now in the conference, the A-Sun, she's 6th in RBIs, 7th in doubles. 13 doubles, 45 RBIs, along with 11 home runs, 379 batting average as well. He takes a strike there, and it's 1-1. Runner on first and Purdy. And Barron takes a strike. It's 1-2. The RedHawks were last home against the Ball State Cardinals a week ago. It It was a doubleheader where the RedHawks won both games in convincing fashion. The first one, a run rule. The second one, a little bit closer. This one, clubbed foul on the left side, and it stays 1-2. Last week, Miami was ranked in the top 25 for the first time in program history. They were number 24. This week, after the loss to Central Michigan, they moved down to 25, but still they stay in the top 25 poll. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and this one ripped on the left side, foul. It's 1-2. Next batter up is Maddie Rutan, who is an impressive player, to say the least, for EKU. Ball 2 downstairs, and it's 2-2. Count even. Last year, EKU finished 28-24, 10-14 in the conference. Next pitch, this one is a little high, right down the middle though. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Barron. So full count on Barron, who's trying to get on here against Madeline Reeves. This one lasered out to left, but it goes foul. It'll stay 3 balls and 2 strikes. The RedHawks in all white uniforms in honor of Cancer Awareness Day here from Oxford. EKU in their road blacks with maroon pants. This one fouled on the left side. Stays 3-2 with Colonel in cursive across the chest and maroon lettering, maroon numbering with whites separating the outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another payoff pitch from Reeves. This one hit up the middle. That one's going to be a 1-out base knock. And the Eastern Kentucky Colonels have back-to-back base runners, this time from Vianna Barron, who gets the first base hit of the day. And here comes one of the top hitters in the conference, Maddie Rutan, the freshman from Columbus, Indiana. Top pitcher in the conference, first in ERA, wins as well. She's 5th in home runs, RBIs, and 4th in walks. She's a power hitter. Madeline Reeves, gotta be careful here. Hitting .302 entering today with a 38 hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 6 home runs, along with 32 RBIs and 21 walks. Not an easy out. 1-0, make it 2-0. Last matchup against Bellarmine, where Eastern Kentucky last played. She went 1 for 9 hitting-wise with 2 RBIs as ball 3 is called, and Rutan is well ahead on Reeves here. 2 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. Tough weekend from the plate, but pitching-wise, she was really good for EKU. First game, she went 4 innings strong, only allowed 1 earned run, and struck out 4 Knights. And the game after, she went 5 innings strong, struck out 5, no earned runs. So 3 balls and no strikes to Maddie Rutan here. One of the top hitters on this EKU lineup. The 3-0 pitch, hitters count. Ball 4 downstairs, and Reeves has loaded the bases here for Jalen Haynes, who will step up momentarily. Meanwhile, from the circle, Miami pitching coach Courtney Viestra is going to have a talk here with Madeline Reeves, trying to calm her down here against this difficult EKU lineup. It was a one-out walk to Maggie Purty. Fiona Barron, a single. And Maddie Rutan, most recently a walk. She's top 10 in walks in the conference, showing off her skills there. Jalen Haynes now. It's going to be a pinch runner in for Vianna Barron, who was at second. It's going to be Kennedy Drafton coming up. She has 6 stolen bases. Speedy player, but doesn't really matter to this point. And here comes Jalen Hines to the plate, who steps up and takes a first pitch ball. Jalen Haynes, second in the team in batting average at .389. 35 hits, 7 doubles, 2 triples, and 8 RBIs. Trying to get 8 and more. Second pitch, ball 2, and Haynes is ahead here on Reeves. Sunny day here from Oxford. Slight wind. Hopefully for the RedHawks won't be too much of a factor. 2 balls and no strikes. This one hit right to the pitcher, Reeves. She decides to go home, misses the play. 1 run comes in, play at the plate. 2 runs come in for EKU. And the score is 2-0 Colonels here in the first. Reeves had it. That one was grounded right to her. She decided to go home. Purty came in to score. Purty and Kennedy Drafton. And it's 2-0 Colonels here in the first. Still 1 out, and bases are full of Colonels here in the first. Now here comes Lily Davis to the plate, who has a .215 batting average, 17 for 79, 7 doubles, and 5 home runs, along with 25 RBIs. So she's a big RBI player. Batting average numbers aren't super high, but she still gets them to score when they count. She fouls one back on the left side. It's 0-1. Excuse me. They actually called the most recent play foul, apparently. So the score remains 0-0. Apologies for that. So it's 0-0 still, but bases are full of Colonels here against Miami. This one hit right to second base. She decides to go over to first. Parks to Blaska, but coming in to score is Maggie Purty. And it is a 1-0 lead here over the RedHawks. So an RBI ground out for Jalen Haynes. Brings up Lily Davis to the plate, who takes a first pitch ball. One to nothing after what I thought was a scoring play. It is ruled as foul. There's 2 outs though. 2 outs, 2 runners on, and Lily Davis takes a first pitch strike. Like I mentioned, .215 batting average for Davis, starting catcher for EKU. Here's the 0-1 pitch, strike 2 called, and Reeves is ahead of Davis here. EKU, they do not want to strand these runners because the RedHawks offense is red hot. You got to look out for it. It's been so dangerous all season long. No balls and 2 strikes, and she fouls one back on the left side. It stays 0-2. Eastern Kentucky up 1-0 after an RBI ground out from Jalen Haynes, the 5-hitter. 0-2. This one popped up on the left side, well out of play. And the count stays at 2 strikes. Madeline Reeves, tough inning of work, but she's only given up the 1 run. She's hoping to keep it that way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This one belt high, but just on the outside corner. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reeves winds and delivers, and this one fouled back on the left side once again. Stays 2-2. Davis, the 6-hitter. Michaela Mathis, Jasmine Miller, and Madison Scott, the next EKU hitters. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Strike 3 swinging. Davis goes down with a K, and the RedHawks escape the Eastern Kentucky Colonels after 1 inning. So 1 run on 1 hit, 2 runners were left, and we will head to the home half of the first for the top 3 hitters in the Miami lineup: Cummins, Kobayashi, and Spade when we come back. You're listening to Miami Softball on Red Hawk Radio. My name is Andrew Relvas here from Oxford. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. Stay tuned for more when we come back. Welcome back to Oxford, here from Miami Softball Stadium for the RedHawks. Offensively, it's Allie Cummins hitting in the 1 spot, Kate Kobayashi in the 2 spot, Carly Spade hitting 3rd, Holly Blaska hitting cleanup, Jenna Golombeski hitting 5th, Reagan Bartholomew batting 6th, Chloe Parks in the 7th spot, Sammy Buick, today's DP, in the 8th spot, and Hadley Parisian rounding out the RedHawks lineup. Miami trailing 1-0 after an RBI ground out from Jalen Haynes earlier. Cummins' first pitch is a ball from Eastern Kentucky's Victoria Byram, who's making another start here for the Colonels. She's a freshman from Lakewood, California, nearby Long Beach. Went to Milliken High School. She last pitched against Austin P on April 14th. Got a big challenge in front of her, facing off against these RedHawks. It's 2 balls and no strikes against Cummins. She takes a strike there, and it's 2-1. The defense for EKU: Haynes in center, Riley at left, Mathis in right, Miller at 3rd, Pertee at short, Scott at 2nd. This one hit in the air on the right side. It goes foul on a play. Barton at 1st and Davis doing the catching. For Byram, a 5.13 ERA, 6-1 as a record, 28-2 innings pitched. She hits this one in the air, out to right, Cummins. But Mathis is right there for the first out and right.
RedHawks center fielder, number 22, Kate Kobayashi.
So Cummins flies out to right, and with that, it'll bring up Kate Kobayashi to the plate, the Kansas City native. Her 4th year in red and white for Miami. She swings through that one, strike one. Kobayashi went 3 for 11 versus Central Michigan, an RBI, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Right now, she stands at 5th in the conference in batting average, 11th in hits, 4th in home runs, 3rd in RBIs, and in the nation, she is tied for 6th in home runs. The RedHawks are the #1 home run hitting team in the nation, and she is one of the reasons why the RedHawks are having such a great season, especially in terms of hitting home runs. She has 18 home runs on the year, which is 3rd on the team behind Golombeski and Spade. She takes the ball, it's 1-1. Byram's 1-1 pitch is high, 2-1. Kobayashi hits this one to second. Scott is there under it. Throwing over to first to Barton, and that is the second out. Routine play for the Eastern Kentucky Colonels.
The RedHawk third baseman, number 7, Carly Spade.
So 2 quick outs for the RedHawks, and with that, it'll bring up Carly Spade to the plate, the superstar senior for the RedHawks, who's been a big reason why, once again, Miami is 1st in the nation in home runs. She's the nation leader in home runs with 27. She's 3rd all time in home runs with 94. This past weekend against Central Michigan as well, she went 5 for 10 with 6 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 3 walks. She was also first team All-MAC selection last year and 2 years prior. One and one, strike 2 called, and Spade is behind Byram here, 1-2. Base is clear, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Spade looks at a ball in the other batter's box. It's 2-2. Two and two, and this one crushed out to left, but it goes foul. Just a little bit off on the timing there. Stays 2-2. Blaska and Golombeski, the next hitters for Miami. Spade hoping to continue the first here. Victoria Byram trying to get out of it. The 1-2-2 pitch, called strike 3, and Spade goes down looking, and that does it for the home half of the first inning. So the RedHawks go quietly into the first, the 1-2-3 frame for Miami. And we'll head to the top half of the second with EKU set to bat. The score is EKU 1, Miami 0 when we come back. Thanks so much for tuning in, and stay with us. More softball soon to come. Welcome back to Miami Softball Stadium here from Oxford. EKU leads the RedHawks 1-0. Sorry about that. It's 7-8-9, Mathis, Miller, and Scott here in the top half of the second inning. EKU loaded the bases earlier on in the first, hoping to get a similar result here in inning number 2 against Madeline Reeves. First 2 pitches, both balls, and Mathis is ahead here, 2-0. For Mathis, she's a freshman from Westminster, California. She takes the ball, strike high, 2-1. She led the team in batting average all 3 years in high school at Marina High School in Southern California. She went 1 for 9 versus Bellarmine this past weekend. She fouls one back and it stays 2-2. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Michaela Mathis, and she takes a ball outside. It's 3-2. The number 25 ranked Miami RedHawks for the second week in program history, trying to stay in the top 25 ranking. Payoff pitch, strike 3 called on the upper half. And Mathis goes down looking with a strikeout. Second of the day for Reeves. And she has retired back-to-back Colonels via the strikeout. Here comes Jasmine Miller now, who takes the first pitch, ball high. For Miller, a .294 batting average, impressive stuff from her, in 102 at-bats. 8 doubles, 6 home runs, 24 RBIs. She takes ball 2 high. And for Miller, last weekend against Bellarmine, she went 2 for 8 with 3 RBIs and a home run. 2-0 pitch. This one in there for strike 1. For Miller, she's a senior from Louisville, Kentucky. The Atlantic Sun, she's 6th in home runs and on a 2-game hitting streak. 2-1, make it 2-2 after a strike was called on the inner half. Miller even here with Reeves. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out, bases clear. Here's the pitch, and this one hammered out to left high. It's gonna go foul past the Miami bullpen. One to nothing is our score. EKU on top of Miami. RedHawks hoping to change that though. This one fouled off. Fireball off of the bat of Miller on the left side, out of play. 2-2 it stays. Madison Scott, the next hitter for EKU, and then the lineup will flip over to the top half. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one is high from Reeves, and it's 3-2. Reeves in her last outing against Central Michigan, she struggled, no question about it. She surrendered 5 earned runs, and she didn't last super long. Obviously today, trying for something different. Check swing, she did not go, so it's going to be ball 4. Good at bat there from Jasmine Miller, able to reach on with a 1-out walk here in the second. So 1-out walk dealt to Miller, and Madison Scott will step up to the plate. The runner on. First pitch she takes from Reeves, and it's high and outside for a ball. 1-0. For Madison Scott from Adelaide, Australia. Second year at EKU. Last year hit .219. This one grounded over to second. Parks is going to throw over to first to Blaska. The race was on, and finally won by the RedHawks. They got the out. Scott made a heck of an effort to get over there at first, but a throw from Parks to Blaska too quick and hold up. The umps are going to have a chat here to discuss if she was safe or not, excuse me. It looked about 50-50. Try to stay unbiased, but I think she was safe. I don't know. It's up to the umps, though. We'll see what side they decide to go with, and they'll keep it. So Scott grounds out, and there are 2 outs. Runner on second. Lineup flips over to the top half. It's Jeanne Riley up to the plate. She flew out to left in her first at bat. Jeanne Riley, top hitter in the team this year, a .403 hitter. 56 for 139, 12 doubles. First pitch she sees, he hits this one out to center, and Kobayashi is there for the final out of the second. So 2 flyouts for Riley, and the RedHawks get a relatively quiet outing versus EKU in this inning of work. So 1 runner was stranded on, no runs, no hits. Reeves gets a solid second inning, and we will head to the home half of the second with the RedHawks trailing by 1-0. EKU leads Miami. We'll head down for 3, 4, 5 when we come back. You're listening to Miami Softball on Red Hawk Radio. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. We welcome you back to softball. We're here in the home half of the second inning. Miami RedHawks trailing Eastern Kentucky 1-0. 4-5-6 for the RedHawks. Facing off against now Maddie Rutan, who's coming in for Victoria Byram. First pitch to Blaska, strike 1. For Blaska playing first today. Went 4 for 13 last weekend against Central Michigan. She hits this one high out to right center. Running over to her right is Haynes, a few steps over, and she's there for the first out. Here's Jenna Golembeski now, who is one of the top power hitters in the nation. In terms of home runs, second behind Carly Spade. Spade has 27, Golembeski 25. First pitch from Rutan. It was center, but just a little bit off to the left. 1-0. In the conference as well for Jenna Golembeski, star left fielder for the RedHawks. Strike 1 called there. First in batting average, second in hits, second in home runs, first in RBIs, sixth in doubles. Also sitting on a 3-game hitting streak. She has been swinging it well here for Miami. This one high, 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes here to Jenna Golombeski. Reagan Bartholomew the next hitter, and Chloe Parks after. 3 balls and no strikes. Golombeski pops this one up on the left side. The shortstop Purty is there under it, and that is the second out.
The shortstop, wearing number 1, Reagan Bartholomew.
So 2 quick outs for the RedHawks, and with that it'll bring up Reagan Bartholomew to the plate. Bartholomew takes the first pitch ball on the outside half, opposite batter's box. She went 3 for 10 versus Central Michigan, 2 RBIs, a double, a walk, and a home run this past weekend. Bartholomew takes the second pitch ball, and it's 2-0. This one fouled on the left side, and it is 2-1. The pitcher for EKU, Maddie Rutan, is also the DP for Eastern Kentucky. First in ERA in the A-Sun, along with wins, and 4th in innings pitched and strikeouts. So she is one of the top hitters in the conference. You could argue one of the best pitchers in the nation, facing off against one of the best lineups in the nation in the Miami RedHawks, ranked nationally. This one flown out to left. It goes just foul, and Bartholomew will have another go at it against Rutan here. Bartholomew currently on a 3-game hitting streak. She's 8th in the MAC in home runs and 7th in RBIs. The payoff pitch home, and this one popped up out to deep left, running into foul territory. Over to her left is Riley, and she is under it for the final out of the second inning. So another 1-2-3 frame for Maddie Rutan, able to retire Blaska, Golombeski, and Bartholomew. We'll head to the top half of the third with the RedHawks still trailing EKU 1-0. You're listening to Miami Softball here on Red Hawk Radio. Stay with us. More softball soon to come here from Oxford.
Leading off the top of the third for the Colonels, it's number 22, shortstop Maggie Purdy.
Welcome back to softball. Here we are in the top half of the third inning. Eastern Kentucky on top of Miami, 1-0. It's 2-3-4. Purty, Barron, and Rutan, the Colonels hitters. Purty takes a first pitch strike, and she's behind 0-1. For Purty this season, a .264 hitter, 87 at bats, 23 hits, 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs, along with 10 RBIs. She takes the ball, it's 1-1. Reeves winds and delivers. She fires one high, it's 2-1. For Purty as well, she's a junior, currently on a 3-game hitting streak versus Bellarmine, where she went 4 for 11. Ball 3 high, and it's 3-1. Madeline Reeves has struck out 2 Eastern Kentucky hitters. It's been a mixed day at the office here for Reeves. This one popped up on the right side. Holly Blaska is there in foul territory, able to make the catch and to retire Maggie Pertee for the first out of the third.
24. First baseman B. Barron.
Now stepping up, it's Vianna Barron, who is 1 for 1 with a single in the first. Got the first base hit and only base hit of the day for both sides. Collected it earlier on in the first inning. 1-0, make it 2-0. Barron ahead. Currently on a 3-game hitting streak where she went 6 for 11 versus Bellarmine last weekend. She's also third team A-Sun selection last season. 2-0. It's 2-1 now after strike was rifled in on the center. Barron hitting .290 on the year with 31 RBIs. 2-1. This one ripped to left, foul. It's 2-2. Eastern Kentucky sitting on a 10-game winning streak that Miami is hoping to end here at home. The RedHawks at home as well are perfect, 11-0. Barron fouls one back on the left side again. A lot of power, and it stays 2-2. Maddie Rutan and Jalen Haynes are the next hitters for Eastern Kentucky, 4 and 5. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one fouled on the left side again, and it stays 2-2. Good at bat here for Vianna Barron, who is battling here against Madeline Reeves. Reeves so far has pitched 58. 2-2, this one elevated high, it's 3-2. And Barron's ahead. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strike, 1 out, bases clear. Reeves' 60th pitch of the game, and this one lifted to center. Running forward just a bit is Kate Kobayashi. She's under it for the second out. And there are 2 outs here in the top half of the third.
Number 21, pitcher Maddie Rutan.
So Pertee and Barron get retired in order, and here comes Maddie Rutan, who first pitch she gets, she grounds it over to third to Spade, who throws over to first to Blaska in time, and that does it for the top half of the third inning. So 1-2-3, third frame for Madeline Reeves and the RedHawks. The score still remains 1-0. Eastern Kentucky on top of Miami, but we will head to the home half with 7, 8, 9, Parks, Buick, and Parisian when we come back. You're listening to Miami Softball here on Red Hawk Radio. Stay with us. More softball in just a moment. We're back for more Miami softball here from Oxford. Miami RedHawks trailing the Eastern Kentucky Colonels 1-0 here in the bottom half of the third inning. My name is Andrew Relvas here from Red Hawk Radio. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's 7-8-9 for the RedHawks. Parks, Buick, and Parisian. Parks at the plate, Chloe Parks. Looking to get the first hit of the game against Maddie Rutan and Eastern Kentucky Colonels defense. First pitch was a ball, second pitch missed high, so it's 2-0. Parks, a junior from Indianapolis, who swung it well versus the Chippewas of Central Michigan last weekend. 2 for 8 with 2 RBIs. She hits this one out to right, just goes slightly foul, and it'll be 2-1. She's a good defender as well, and she's been playing well recently for Miami, hitting .317, 38 for 120 with 7 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, and 24 RBIs. Parks looks at strike 2 down the middle, and it's even 2-2 on Parks. Two balls and 2 strikes, and Parks takes the ball in the dirt. It's 3-2. Rutan has retired the first 6 Red Hawk hitters. Parks trying to answer, and she takes ball 4 outside, so that streak ended right on cue. Red Hawks are in business here. They got a runner on first. No outs for the 8-hitter. Designated player Sammy Buick stepping up. For Sammy Buick this season, playing really well for the Red Hawks, a freshman from McMurray, Pennsylvania, nearby Pittsburgh. .317 hitter. First pitch a ball, second one rifled in for a strike. It's 1-1. 11 home runs for Buick, 46 RBIs. She's climbing those rankings in terms of power. She takes strike 2, slightly high, but still centered, and it's 1-2. RedHawks just hoping to rally and take down Maddie Rutan, who is on a roll here. She fouls this one back behind home plate, behind the press box. So it'll stay 1-2. Hadley Parisian, the 9-hitter, stands up next. Lineup will flip over after that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's 2-2 after a ball was rifled on the outside and low. So even now, 2-2. Maddie Rutan winds and delivers. This one outside near Buick for a ball, 3-2. Full count to Sammy Buick, who is trying to find the right pitch against Maddie Rutan, who has looked really strong here against Eastern Kentucky. This one lined short. Pertee grabs it, throws over to second, flips it to Scott. But Buick was too fast there, so she gets a fielder's choice. It's going to be 1 out after Parks was taken out. And with that, it'll bring up Hadley Parisian to the plate. Runner on first in Buick. Lucky for the RedHawks. Couldn't flip to Eastern Kentucky, so it stays right here. Hadley Parisian, first pitch is a ball, 1-0. for Parisian, .385 hitter. As a freshman, 9th in the conference in batting average and on a 3-game hitting streak. Also went 6 for 10 versus Central Michigan this weekend with 5 RBIs. Second pitch is a ball, and it's 2-0. Once again, Maddie Rutan, the pitcher, the best in the Atlantic Sun Conference for Eastern Kentucky. She fires home in this one. Middle, but just off of the left side. It's 3-0. Very close to a strike. Hitters count here for Hadley Parisian. We'll see what she decides to do. 3 balls and no strikes. And she takes a strike. A little bit elevated there. It's 3-1. Parisian's the 9-hitter. Lineup will flip over after her. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Maddie Rutan. Here's the pitch. This one outside, ball 4. And the RedHawks have 2 base runners on for the first time today. Buick at second, Parisian at first. And here come the roaring RedHawks, top of the lineup, stepping in. Here comes Allie Cummins now, grad student from Westchester. She's 6th in the conference in hits and home runs. Tied for 31st in the nation in home runs. And she takes the first pitch ball. Although 31 sounds like a lot, she still has a good amount of home runs at 14. 11 less than the 2-hitter Golombeski, who has 25. Second pitch was a ball. Rutan missed it. RedHawks knocking on the door here. They're trying to answer and tie it up or potentially take the lead. Allie Cummins already 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right. Kate Kobayashi stands second, and Carly Spade right after. Maddie Rutan's 2-0 pitch, and this one in there, strike 1, right down the middle. This top half of this Miami offense has been so strong. Ranking the top categories in terms of offense. Top 5 in the MAC in all those categories. Ball 3, and it's 3-1. Allie Cummins here. Pitch home, and this one fouled back is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Allie Cummins here, who is trying to get on here for the first time today. Rutan's payoff pitch, and this one is crushed out to right. It goes foul. So it stays 3-2. Cummins has been a first-team All-MAC selection in the past 3 years. Consistent Miami bat. She fouls one back, and it stays 3-2. Although it's only 1-0, this game has been all about defense and all about pitching. It's kind of unusual to see, especially for Miami, but still worth noting. Full count once again, 2 RedHawks on. The payoff pitch home. This one popped up on the right side. We'll see if it stays fair, and it goes foul. Barton was almost there. She had a play on it, but just went past her outstretched glove into foul territory on the right side. So Cummins will see another pitch. The star catcher for the RedHawks. 3-2. A hopper out to left that goes foul. Cummins continuing to battle here against Maddie Rutan, who's looking for perfect pitch to swing on. Kate Kobayashi and Carly Spade are the next Miami hitters. RedHawks hoping to see them in this inning. 3-2 again. This one fouled back behind home. And behind the press box once again, a strong swing. And it will stay 3-2 again. Two RedHawk runners on, one out, and Allie Cummins takes ball 4 downstairs. You talk about a long at bat that finally reaped a reward. That at bat took well more than 10 pitches. Wish we had an exact number. Either way, though, Allie Cummins, she gets on after an extended at bat, and the bases are juiced here for Miami. For one of the top power hitters in the nation, Kate Kobayashi, who is third in slugging. She takes a first pitch strike. Kobayashi 0 for 1 with the ground out, and Maddie Rutan is gonna talk with EKU pitching coach Molly Pollock and the entire Colonels infield meeting to discuss strategy, trying to see how they can navigate around this labyrinth that is this Miami offense. RedHawks knocking on the door, trying to get their first run of the day. They can feel it. A ball hit to the outfield is going to score a run. That's all they got to do. It's one out, bases full. It's Buick on third, Parisian on second, and Cummins on first. Kobayashi behind 0-1. Kansas City native. Rutan's 0-1 pitch this one. Swung and a miss, strike 2 right over the heart of the plate. And she's behind 0-2. RedHawks just looking for their first hit of the game. This one popped up on the right side. Goes foul out of play. It'll stay 0-2. Kate Kobayashi went 3 for 11 versus Central Michigan this past weekend. She's hoping to continue to swing it well here against Eastern Kentucky, who's on a 10-game winning streak. Trying to make it 11 here to potentially take down the 25th best team in the nation in Miami. So Kobayashi will get another 0-2 pitch momentarily. Bases full, one out. The 0-2 pitch, and this one outside. It's 1-2. Maddie Rutan just trying to find any way to get through this dangerous Miami offensive lineup. 1-2. This one is high, 2-2. Rutan has pitched about 60. Things don't get any easier after this. It's Spade, Blaska, and Golombeski. All three dangerous hitters in their own right. 2-2. This one outside, 3-2. And bases remain full. RedHawks are one ball away from tying the game at 1. Kate Kobayashi at the plate, trying to bring home at least one. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, this one lifted to center, Going back at the track is Haynes. She's under it for the second out, but not before the runner on third in. Sammy Buick comes in to score. It's a sacrifice fly out to center. Job well done there for Kate Kobayashi. And our score is tied 1-1 here in the third. So with that, it'll bring up Carly Spade, who's already 0 for 1 today. Got runners at the corners. This one hitting the air out to right, going back at the track, at the wall, and this one is gone. A 3-run home run for Carly Spade. And the RedHawks are up 4-0 here in the third. Carly Spade crushes one out to right. That was destroyed off of the bat of her. She clears the bases, and the RedHawks have finally broken through against Maddie Rutan, who was dealing today. And the RedHawks are up 4-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky here in the third. This one hammered out to left. It's going to be over the head of Riley. And Holly Blaska will come in with a 2-out stand-up double. And the RedHawks continue to be threatening here in the third.
Once again, number 2, the left fielder, Jenna Golombesky.
That home run for Spade as well. Her 95th all-time home run. He's now extended her hitting streak to 5 games. And she has also hit home run number 28 on the season, leading everyone in the nation. Blaska reached over to second with a stand-up double, and Golombesky stands up here. She fouls the first one back. Golombesky popped up to short in her first at bat. She's behind 0-1. The pitch home. This one hammered out to left. It goes foul. It's 0-2. Golombesky trying to continue this Miami threat. 0-2. This one raked out to right. Could be trouble, and it is. She drops it in front of 3 Colonels. Coming in to score is Holly Blaska all the way from second. A 2-out RBI single for Jenna Golombesky out in no man's land in right field. And the RedHawks are up 5 here in the third. It's 5-1. RedHawks rolling over the Eastern Kentucky Colonels here in the third inning. The run support continues to come here for Miami. They put up a 5 spot. And here comes Reagan Bartholomew, who takes the ball downstairs. It's 1-0. Rutan, Eastern Kentucky's pitcher, has thrown about 70 now. Pitch count is definitely climbing. Bartholomew pops one up pretty high out to left. Shallow left. Pertee, the shortstop, is there. She's under it for the final out of the third inning. And that does it for the home half of the third. So the RedHawks, they put up a 5 spot in the third inning, and they lead Eastern Kentucky by 4 as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Miami striking back, and they're hoping to keep this lead when we come back. You're listening to Miami Softball on RedHawk Radio. The number 25 ranked Miami RedHawks continuing to stay strong here at home. Stay with us. More action soon to come. Welcome back to softball. Here we are in the top half of the fourth inning with Miami up 5-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky. Here's Jalen Haynes now. Jalen Haynes, excuse me. Got an RBI ground out earlier in the first, scoring the only run for Eastern Kentucky. Trying to get on. Start a little rally here for Eastern Kentucky. First pitch was a strike, second one a ball. And it is 1-1. This one fouled on the left side into the Miami dugout netting. It's 1-2. Reeves has retired. 5 straight Eastern Kentucky hitters. That streak is broken after a leadoff base knock out to left for Jalen Haynes. She feeds it right to Jenna Golombeski. A fire ball off of the bat of Haynes. And the Colonels are in business here in the fourth. Lily Davis stepping in now. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Hoping to turn the tide here against Madeline Reeves, who is rolling. Pass ball, and that's going to be a stolen base for Jalen Haynes, who steps up to second unopposed. Pitch was also in the dirt, so it's 1-0 to Lily Davis. This one cranked foul behind home plate. It's 1-1. For Davis, the starting catcher, hitting .215, but trying to get those numbers up. 1-1, and this one is high, 2-1. Michaela Mathis and Jasmine Miller, the next hitters for Eastern Kentucky. The Colonels versus the RedHawks, a fun one here from home. 2-1. This one popped up on the right side, and it goes foul near the Eastern Kentucky dugout. Out of play, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. This one popped up behind home plate and goes foul again. So Davis battling here once again, trying to get the right pitch to swing on against Madeline Reeves, who has rebounded in a big way here for Miami. Last outing, she gave up 5 earned runs. So far, so good for Reeves, the star freshman pitcher for Miami. That one outside is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second in Jalen Haynes. Lily Davis trying to get on for the first time today. The top half of the fourth inning. Payoff pitch home. This one downstairs and away, ball 4. And Lily Davis has reached on for the first time today. With that also, it's 2 runners on, no outs for Eastern Kentucky. Michaela Mathis soon to come up after Courtney Fierstra and Cummins talk strategy here with Miami pitcher Madeline Reeves, who is just trying to replicate the efforts that she had in the 3rd inning, where she went 1-2-3, retiring 3 consecutive Colonel hitters. So conference is over. Michaela Mathis will step in for the second time today. She struck out in the second to lead it off. And she will try and pass the baton on here for Eastern Kentucky. Wild pitch, and both runners advance. Haynes over to third, and Davis over to second. Ball was in the dirt. Both runners advanced. They had a good jump on it. And the RedHawks in a bit of trouble here against Eastern Kentucky. Ball 2 outside. It's 2-0 here for Michaela Mathis. Freshman from Westminster, California. Southern California area. Davis on second. Haynes on third. And she takes the ball high. It's 3-0. This could spell trouble here for the RedHawks. They lead by 4, but their lead could diminish here with one swing of the bat. Reeves 3-0 pitch. This one grounded right to her. She spins around before she finally decides to throw it over to first. She gets a ground ball right to her, and she makes the play in time for the first out. Haynes as well was thinking about running, but she decides to just keep the red light on and stay put. So it makes things a little bit more interesting here. 1 out, 2 runners on for Jasmine Miller. Who had a walk in her first at bat. She takes the first pitch strike. In the upper half, it is 0-1. Miller, the 8-hitter, and then Madison Scott, the 9-hitter, due up after Miller here. Second pitch, strike 2, and Reeves is ahead 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. This one downstairs and away. Strike 3 swinging. Jasmine Miller goes down with a strikeout. Reeves has struck out 3 Eastern Kentucky hitters. And quickly, it makes things even more urgent for Eastern Kentucky. Madison Scott up to the plate. She's got 2 runners on in scoring position. But there are 2 outs, so it makes things much tighter here against the Miami RedHawks. First pitch was a ball high and away. It's 1-0. 1-0, and this one is outside. Belt high, but outside 2-0. Madison Scott, a senior from Australia. Wind is really going here from Oxford. She swings through that one. It is 2-1. RedHawks lead 5-1 over Eastern Kentucky. 2 balls and a strike. This one fouled back, and it's 2-2. Madison Scott already 0 for 1 today, a ground out to second. Trying to extend the inning to flip the lineup over. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. RedHawks leading Eastern Kentucky by 4. Here's the pitch home. Reeves just misses on the outside half, and it goes to 3-2. So a full count here for Madison Scott. And she fouls one back. So it will stay 3-2. They're actually going to say she swang and missed. So that'll do it. Back-to-back Ks for Madeline Reeves. It was kind of debatable to see which way it went, but the umpire said Scott swung and she didn't get anything. So that does it for the top half of the 4th inning. 3 straight scoreless innings for Madeline Reeves against these Eastern Kentucky Colonels, and we will head to the home half of the 4th with with the RedHawks up by 4. They lead 5-1 when we come back. You're listening to Miami Softball on Red Hawk Radio. Stay with us. More action in a moment. Welcome back to more Miami Softball here on Red Hawk Radio. My name is Andrew Relvas. Thanks so much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. For the RedHawks, it's 7-8-9 Parks, Buick, and Parisian up to the plate for the second consecutive inning. Parks started off the third with a leadoff walk, and she takes a first pitch strike there from Maddie Rutan, who's out for her fourth inning of work. Rutan winds and delivers this one. Grounded right up the middle, a hopper. And Parks has led off back-to-back innings with being on base. First with a walk, this time with a leadoff single. And the RedHawks are in business here in the bottom half of the fourth. So leadoff single for Chloe Parks. It brings up Sammy Buick to the plate, who looks at a first pitch strike that was fired in right over the heart of the plate. Buick reached on base earlier last inning. It was a fielder's choice though, right to the shortstop. This one skips in for a ball. It's 1-1. Buick on a 3-game hitting streak, trying to extend it here against a good pitcher in Maddie Rutan. 1-1, and this one hit pretty far out to right center. That one's going to go bouncing up against the wall. Rounding second, rounding third. Here comes Chloe Park, and she will run in with style, scoring at the plate. That is a one-out base knock for Sammy Buick, and the RedHawks are up 6-1 here in the fourth.
Number 12, right fielder Hadley Parisian.
So Buick gets on with a leadoff double, and Maddie Rutan's day is done here from the circle. She gave it all she could, but that's going to do it for her. She leaves with the RedHawks up 6-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky. We will step away here from Miami Softball Stadium here from Oxford. The RedHawks lead by 5. We've got more softball action in just a moment with the pitching change when we come back. Welcome back to Miami softball. The RedHawks up 6-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky. It's an RBI double from Sammy Buick earlier in the inning. New pitcher in. It is Victoria Byram making another appearance here against Miami. She comes in pitching about 28 and 2/3 innings. Parisian, the hitter, fouls it back. It's 1-1 after she took a first pitch ball. Byram, a 5.13 ERA in 11 appearances. She winds and delivers. She fires home a ball high. It's 2-1. Parisian reached on last inning with a walk. It's 2 balls and a strike here to Parisian, who looks at strike 2 right down the middle. For Parisian, freshman from Odon, Indiana. High school, she was a first-team All-State selection. She went 6 for 10 versus Central Michigan this past weekend with 5 RBIs. Skilled player, and only a freshman. Runner on second, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one home, and this one is fouled back. It stays 2-2. Parisian, the 9-hitter, looking to flip the lineup over. And she will, because there's 0 outs, and she's the last hitter in the lineup. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Victoria Byram winds and delivers. This one belt high but outside for ball 3-2. It'll be Cummins, Kobayashi, and Spade up next for Miami. RedHawks hoping to get all 3 of them up in this inning. And this one outside for ball 4. And the RedHawks have 2 runners on, no outs for Allie Cummins, who steps in for the 3rd time today. 0 for 1, a fly out to right. She reached on last inning with a walk. Cummins went 2 for 7 versus Central Michigan with 2 RBIs. Trying to continue to swing it hot. She takes the first pitch ball high. Superstar catcher here for the RedHawks and Allie Cummins, 5th year at Miami. And she takes the ball in the dirt. It's 2-0. For Byram as well, she last pitched against Austin Peay on April 14th. So about 10 days ago. Didn't pitch against Bellarmine. This one fired in, right down the middle, strike 1. And it's 2-1 to Cummins here. Two balls and a strike, 2 runners on for the RedHawks. This one popped up. It goes foul off the roof of the press box. It's 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on here for the RedHawks and no outs. Miami leading 6-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky. Byram winds and delivers. This one goes outside and low. It's 3-2. Miami has Kate Kobayashi and Carly Spade up next. RedHawks just trying to pass the baton here. 3-2 home. This one hit up the middle. That one's going to score 1. Rounding 3rd. Hold that thought, though. It'll just be a single. So Buick goes over to 3rd, Looked like she was going to score, but she'll stay put. And it's bases loaded, no outs here for Kate Kobayashi, who is looking to break this one open for Miami. Already had an RBI last inning, a sac fly out to center. Looking to do much more here against Byram. Kobayashi takes the first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Kobayashi 0 for 1, a ground out as well in the first. Buick on third, Parisian at second, and Cummins at first. Byram's 0-1 pitch goes outside and away for a ball. It's 1-1. One ball and one strike here to Kate Kobayashi, who is third in the nation in slugging percentage, only behind Golombeski and Spade. Last pitch looked like it might have hit Kobayashi. Umpires discussing to see which way it'll go. For Kate Kobayashi from Kansas City. She ranks in the top 10 in pretty much all offensive categories. RedHawks lead by 5. And looking to make it more here. Excuse me, the debate was actually if she swung or not, and they said she did, so it's 1-2 here against Kate Kobayashi. Bases loaded, no outs, and Kobayashi fouls one back at a play. It is 1-2 still. Kobayashi trying to break this one open here for the RedHawks against Victoria Byram. Bases loaded, no outs. This one crushed out to right. It goes foul, and it'll stay 1-2. Carly Spade and Holly Blaska up next for Miami. Bases loaded, no outs. Victoria Byram delivers, and Kobayashi crushes one out to left center. This one going back off the glove of Haynes at center. 1 run comes in, 2 runs comes in. And Kate Kobayashi has broken this one open for the RedHawks. A 2-run, no out RBI double for the superstar outfielder for Miami. Kate Kobayashi has made it 8-1 here in the 4th. So that one was drilled out to center. Haynes was there, and she just couldn't corral it in time. So 2 runs come in, and here comes Carly Spade, who crushed a 3-run home run earlier in the 3rd inning. 3 of 5 runs were from Spade. It's Cummins on 3rd, Kobayashi on 2nd. Spade takes ball too high from Byram. 8-1 Miami. They lead by 7. Byram winds and delivers home. This one in the dirt for ball 3. It's 3-0 to Carly Spade. RedHawks up by 7. A home run would end the game for Miami. Three balls and no strikes. This one right down the middle, strike 1. It's 3-1 to Carly Spade. Spade entered today, third in the nation, third all-time in home runs with 94. She hit one today. She crushes one out to right, goes foul. So it'll be 3-2. Spade standing on. Blaska and Golombeski up next. Victoria Byram just trying to get out of this inning by any means necessary. Payoff pitch to Spade, and she crushes one out to left. It goes foul. And it stays 3-2. So 2 runners in scoring position, second and third for Miami. Carly Spade hoping to bring them home. Miami up 7. And Spade crushes one out to left. This one going back, and this one is gone. Another home run for Carly Spade. Her second of the day. Carly Spade's 29th home run of the year. And the RedHawks are up 11-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky here in the 4th inning. A 5-run 3rd inning and a 6-run 4th inning has made it 11-1. And it's only the 4th inning.
If we could please have your attention for a very special recognition. With that home run, the 96th of her career, Carly Spade has passed Lauren Chamberlain and secured sole ownership of 2nd place in career home runs in NCAA history.
Just got announcement that that home run from Carly Spade, her 96th all-time home run, has put her into 2nd place all-time. She entered today in 3rd, and now she is in 2nd. So what a recognition for Carly Spade. Still no outs for the RedHawks, and we will head to a pitching change. Quick break. When we come back, RedHawks up by 10, 11-1. More softball in just a moment. You're listening to Miami Softball when we come back.
Now the batter for the RedHawks, first baseman Holly Blaska.
Welcome back to Miami Softball Stadium. The RedHawks up by 10 here in the 4th inning. Holly Blaska to the plate, and she takes a first pitch ball from the new pitcher, Brooke Davies, who will come in with the same mentality as Byram, just try and get through these RedHawk hitters. Second pitch of the ball now. It's 2-0 to Blaska. This one grounded over to first, and Barron is there for the first out.
Red-Hawk left fielder Golombeski.
So simple ground out, fielded perfectly there by Barron, and there is one out here in the 4th for Miami. Jenna Golombeski up to the plate now. She takes a first pitch ball there from Davies. For Brick Davies, this is her 5th appearance on the year. She's only pitched 2 2/3 innings. Golombeski swings through that one. It's 1-1. Last pitched about a month ago against Northern Kentucky, March 27th. She went 2/3 of an inning. She gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. She fires home for a strike. It's 1-2. Not a ton of experience for Davies. She has a tall task in front of her, facing off against one of the nation's best home run hitters in Jenna Golombeski. 1-2, 2-2 high. Golombeski 1 for 2 today, a pop-up to short and an RBI single in back-to-back innings. Up for the 3rd time in 3 innings. Golombeski hits one out to left. Running in front of her is Riley, and she makes the catch for the 2nd out of the 4th. So the run rule is 10 runs after 5. The RedHawks are up by 10 right now. All they got to do is retire 3 Colonels in order. Once that occurs, and the RedHawks will run rule Eastern Kentucky. It's going to be a pinch hitter for Bartholomew now. Maddie Banks stepping in. Grad student from Bettendorf, Iowa. She pinch hit last weekend against Central Michigan. In one game, she just drew a walk. And she takes a first pitch ball from Davies. It is 1-0. Maddie Banks as well. Appeared in 25 games. 179 hitter. 7 for 39 with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. Bases clear, 2 outs, and she's ahead 2-0. And Banks takes the ball outside. It's 3-0. Maddie Banks taking over for Reagan Bartholomew. And Banks draws a walk on 4 pitches from Davies. And with that, it'll flip the lineup right back to Chloe Parks, who led off the inning. So the RedHawks have batted around. Scratch that, it'll be a pinch hitter in Logan Muller, who's stepping over for Chloe Parks. For Muller, only 12 at-bats. Most recently appeared against Central Michigan this weekend. She went 0 for 1. Just trying to get some more playing time though. And she takes a first pitch ball high and away. Brooke Davies fires home for a strike. It's 1-1. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Muller. The wind, set, and delivery is a ball high. It's 2-1. Miami up 11-1 on top of Eastern Kentucky. A 5-run 3rd inning and a 6-run 4th inning has brought us to where we are right now. 2-1, and Muller takes the ball outside and away in the dirt. It's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first for Miami, up by 10. And Moeller lifts one out to left center. But right there is Riley, who moves over just to her right. And she collects it for the final out of the 4th inning. So the RedHawks put up a 6-spot in the 4th that was capped off by a 3-run home run. Second of the day for Carly Spade. And the RedHawks lead by 10. So we will head to the top half of the 5th inning. The RedHawks just need 3 outs. And they will run rule the Colonels. Find out if they can do so when we come back. You're listening to Miami Softball here on RedHawk Radio. My name is Andrew Relvas. Thanks so much for spending your afternoon with us. More softball in just one moment. Welcome back to Miami Softball Stadium here from Oxford for Eastern Kentucky. It is 1, 2, 3, Jenna Riley, Maggie Purty, and Vianna Barron up to the plate. Riley in danger of losing her 7-game hitting streak, which she entered in to this game with. She went 6 for 12 versus Bellarmine over the weekend. So far 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts, 1 to center and 1 to left. First pitch from Reeves, a ball. Second pitch right on the money for a strike. It's 1-1. RedHawks, number 25 team in the nation, just trying to rack up some wins before the season comes to a close in about a few weeks. This one crushed out to right. This one is gone. A home run for Jenna Riley. She exits the yard out to right field. And Eastern Kentucky has put up the 2nd run of the day. This one, a home run. And Riley has extended her hitting streak to 8 games now. That one crushed from Riley. Reeves surrenders her 2nd run of the game. And it is a 9-run game. 2-11 is our score here in the 5th. Maggie Purty up to the plate now. She takes a ball. It's 1-on-1 here to Purty. Purty 0 for 1 to pop up and a walk. Strike 2 called on the upper half, and it's 1-2. This one fired home and laced out to left. A base hit for Maggie Purty, and she is on for the 2nd time today. First one a walk, this time a hit, and Purty making things interesting here for Eastern Kentucky. Miami can no longer run rule Eastern Kentucky in this inning due to the home run, but they still lead by 9. Purty, her hitting streak also extended to 4 games, entered today with a 3-game hitting streak. Here's Vianna Barron now. Ooh. Extended her 3-game hitting streak with a single in the 1st. Barron takes the ball. It's 2-0. She entered this year as an ASUN preseason conference selection. Last year she was third team ASUN selection as well. Hit 379 that year. This year, another strong season for Barron, hitting 290 with 31 RBIs. 2-1. This one lasered out to left. It goes foul. It's 2-2. RedHawks' next matchup will be here at home versus Kent State. Kent State Golden Flashes a 3-game set. The final home series of the year. Meanwhile, for Eastern Kentucky, they will take on North Florida. Breaking pitch, strike 3, swinging in the dirt. Strikeout number 5 now for Madeline Reeves. She takes down Vianna Barron for the first out of the 5th. Still runner on for Eastern Kentucky. And here comes Maddie Rutan up to the plate, who was the pitcher for Eastern Kentucky. She surrendered 7 earned runs. She only surrendered 3 earned runs this past weekend in 2 games versus Bellarmine. So she got shelled in a big way against the RedHawks. She takes a second consecutive ball and she's ahead 2-0. Reeves winds, fires home, and misses. It's 3-0. Rutan 0-1 with a ground out. Also drew a walk in the first. She's a walks machine in the top 10 in that category in the conference. 3-0. Hitters count. And Reeves fires a strike right down Broadway. It's 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Strike 2 called on the outside corner, and it's 3-2. Full count here on Maddie Rutan, the DP for Eastern Kentucky. Reeves fires home. This one skips off of the chest plate of Allie Cummins. Ball 4. Maddie Rutan has reached on for the second time today. This one, another walk. She continues to be an on-base threat. Reeves, she's pitched 109 pitches, and that'll likely do it. We'll see what Courtney Vierstra decides to execute. 109 pitches, 22 batters faced, and she has looked good here for Miami. Only given up 2 earned runs, 4 hits, struck out 5 Colonels, and surrendered 5 walks. So Reeves is going to stay in here for at least another batter. It looks like Addie Jervis is warming up for the RedHawks. We'll see how far that goes. In comes Jalen Haynes now, who is 1 for 1. She fouls one on the left side. 0-1. Haynes, an RBI ground out in the first, and a single in the fourth. Miami up 11-2 on top of Eastern Kentucky. This one in the dirt for a ball. It's 1-1. One ball, one strike, one out. 2 runners on here for Eastern Kentucky. Jalen Haynes at the plate, and she grounds a soft one over to second. The throw over to first, not in time. And the bases are full of Colonels here in the 5th. So she beats out the throw. And Eastern Kentucky well in business now, trying to make this one a little bit closer. Here's Lily Davis. First pitch she gets, she crushes one out to left. Goes foul. It's Haynes on first. Rutan on second. And Purty on third. 0-1. And she just missed on the left side. It's 1-1. One ball, one strike, one out. Bases full of Colonels. Here's the pitch. This one hit on the left side. That one's going to score 1. And everyone else will put on the brakes. An RBI single for Lily Davis. 1 out RBI knock. And it makes it 3-11 here in the 5th. That's 3 consecutive base runners for Eastern Kentucky. A walk, a single, and an RBI single. Bases still remain full of Colonels. And here comes Sharon Duncan replacing Michaela Mathis. Duncan, a freshman from Placentia, California. That's near Yorba Linda or Anaheim. Went to Esperanza High School. First pitch she gets, she pops this one up near the catcher Cummins, but coming over is Holly Blaska, who is there. And she gets it for the second out of the 5th. So first pitch pop out to Holly Blaska. And there are 2 outs here in the 5th. Here's Jasmine Miller now, who's got bases full and trying to score a few more to make this one closer. First pitch, a good one, strike 1. Reeves has thrown 116 pitches now 117. We'll see how much further she can go. Davis on first, Haynes on second, and Rutan on third. This one misses outside for a ball. It's 1-1. One and one. This one swung on a miss, strike 2. Downstairs and away. Breaking pitch thrown to perfection there from Reeves. It's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases full of Colonels here in the 5th. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strikeout swinging, and that ends the Colonel threat here in the 5th. Strikeout number 6 now for Madeline Reeves. She is on fire, only surrendering 2 runs, and that does it here from Miami softball field. The RedHawks run rule the Colonels. They win by 8. 11-3 is our final score. We thank you so much for tuning in and spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. Eastern Kentucky entered today with a 10-game winning streak, but that unfortunately falls after losing 11-3 against the red-hot Miami RedHawks, who put up 5 runs in the third, 6 runs in the fourth. Able to crush Eastern Kentucky pitching here on Wednesday. It was a close one for the first few innings, but not before the RedHawks exploded for 5 and 6 in back-to-back innings. That's going to do it. The final score, 11-3. The RedHawks, 11 runs on 9 hits, 0 errors. For Eastern Kentucky, 3 runs on 6 hits and 0 errors. A valiant effort overall, but just too much. The RedHawks offense too hot, too strong, and they were able to take down Eastern Kentucky, who entered today with a 36-5 overall record. They go to 36-6, and they will fall to 9-1 on the road. They were perfect 9-0 on the road, but that ends, and so does their 10-game winning streak. For the RedHawks, they go to 37-7 overall. They remain perfect in home play. They're 12-0, and they will take on the Kent State Golden Flashes for a 3-game set here at home Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Make sure you tune into that one. It'll be a fun one. That'll be the final home series of the weekend, of the year for the RedHawks. Meanwhile, for Eastern Kentucky, they will go to Jacksonville and take on North Florida, the Ospreys, for a 3-game set in ASUN play. So that's going to do it here from Miami softball field here from Oxford. The RedHawks win 11-3, and they continue their winning ways, grabbing a win over the red-hot Colonels. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you in our next RedHawk radio broadcast. It'll be Miami baseball versus Eastern Michigan. Make sure you tune into that one to see if the RedHawks can make it to the Mid-American Conference Tournament under Drew Smiley's first year as head coach. With that being said, so long, and we will see you in our next RedHawk radio broadcast. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of your Wednesday. My name is Andrew Relvas. So long from Oxford.